What's up, guys? One Koala Man here, bringing you episode number 46 of our fairy tale reviews. And just like I said yesterday, I'm going to put the question of the day right now because it is of somewhat importance, seeing how you want to see it, I guess. But on the 18th and 19th, I believe, which is not today, but next Tuesday and next Wednesday, there will be a top blank list. Now, I want you guys to say, do you want me to do like a top 5 list or a top 10 list of favorite male and female characters? Because I am going to do a list of top favorite male characters and top favorite female characters to celebrate the 50th episode. And also in the comments, leave down if you want me to do the top 5 or top 10 from up until this point, or in the whole entire anime, not the manga, but the whole entire anime, which will include spoilers. So yeah, let me know down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to hit that like button down below. Be sure to answer the question of the day, which will also be in the description. And follow me on Twitter, which will be in the description as well. Be sure to share it to all your friends. Be sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel, because I welcome every single one of you, old and new, to the channel with open arms. And with all that said and done, let's get this mother underway. So we start today's episode off with Natsu and Urza both separate from each other, and they're both trying to find Loxus because the entire Thunder Legion and everybody else in Fairy Tail has pretty much been wiped out. And back at the guild hall, Miss Poorly Yusuka herself comes inside, and Levy's like saying, "What are you doing here?" And she's trying to see Makarov because I guess she knows that Makarov had a heart attack. And I forgot to mention last episode that Makarov had a freaking heart attack, so I apologize for that. But he did have a heart attack, or what looked like a heart attack, because all this stress is just a lot for an old man's heart. And so Poorly Yusuka and Levy are looking at Makarov inside like the infirmary bed or whatever, and she's saying, or Poorly Yusuka is saying, like, "Levy, go get Loxus right now. His childish games are enough. Tell him to get over here this instant, because Makarov might be laying in his deathbed." And it's a very serious moment, so Makarov might die. And speaking of Loxus, we go to Loxus, who is in the Kardia Cathedral, and he's hiding out over there, but he's like leaning over the steps or whatever, and he's like reminiscing in his memories about when he was a teenager and a kid, and about Makarov and his relationship as a grandfather and grandson. And it kind of was getting a little funky after Makarov like released his son, who is Loxus's father, Ivan, because Ivan was apparently really evil or something, and so he was like, "No, you gotta get out of here." And so Loxus, I guess, is doing this because A, he wants the guild, and B, he was mentioning in his flashback that he was always recognized as Makarov's grandson, or as the Master's grandson. He's never been recognized as Loxus. I don't know why. He's freaking amazing, dude. I don't recognize him as Makarov's grandson. I could care less. He could be Natsu's grandson. I don't care. Loxus is Loxus, and that's that. But Loxus is doing this, it's like a pride kind of thing. Like, he wants to build up a name for himself and not just be Makarov's grandson. But anyways, he's looking at in the present time, he's looking at the clock, and there's about, I want to say like 5 minutes left, 10 minutes left, something like that. Some short amount of time. And then Mistigan comes through, and Mistigan, like, you can see his eyes and his hair, and his hair is blue. Now, who else's hair was blue? Is it sheer coincidence? I don't know. And so they're talking and all that, and Loxus mentions something. He's like, "Do you want me to tell people who you really are?" And I'm thinking, who is this guy? And then, like, Mistigan, like, just doesn't say a single word after that. He just starts attacking Loxus, and you see like a quick glimpse at Mistigan's eye, and this mother has the same exact tattoo or same exact marking over his eye as Jalal did, as Seagrain did. So, I mean, there's no denying, but maybe he's not Jalal. I don't know. But they're fighting, and their fight is as epic as you would imagine, because they are both S-class wizards. They are probably two of the top wizards. Now, there is one person that trumps every single wizard that is not Makarov. It's Makarov, then somebody, I can't say until he's introduced or she's introduced. And then, you know, Mystigan, Urza, and Loxus, and then everybody else. But so far that we've been introduced, Mystigan and Loxus are like the top dogs, and they're going at it. It is an amazing fight from what I am, you know, looking at. You guys just have to watch the video. Hopefully there'll be a video of this fight in this video right now. And apparently Mystigan is from Naruto universe too, because he uses Genjutsu as well. He's getting like some illusion on with Loxus, and Loxus like saying, what is this? What kind of magic is this? But he eventually breaks out of it by shocking himself. And so it's pretty clever, and they're just countering each other the whole entire time. Like once Loxus gets the upper hand, Mystigan comes through. Once Mystigan gets the upper hand, it's like a teeter-totter, you know? Like they're both getting the upper hand and they're both countering each other perfectly. And then they finally stop for like a split second, and of course Natsu and Urza come in and they're saying, we finally found you, Loxus. And then Mystigan's saying like, what the heck? And like Urza and Natsu are assuming that's Mystigan because nobody's really seen Mystigan because he always puts people to sleep. But then Loxus uses this as his opportunity. He shoots lightning to Mystigan's face, which gets rid of his entire mask and his hood and all that. And this mother, look at this picture right now. Tell me that does not look like Jalal. But Mystigan says, look, like to Urza, he's like, look Urza, I know I look like Jalal, but I am not Jalal. I'm like, what? How can you sit there and say you're not Jalal when you look just like him? But I don't know, maybe. And so Mystigan like disappears from the face of the universe at this point, and it's now Natsu versus Loxus because Natsu has some bad blood against Loxus. And this fight is going down exactly how you would expect it. Like Natsu's like trying to get an upper hand, but he just cannot get an upper hand on Loxus. Like once you think like he's countering, Loxus just comes in full force, just bops Natsu, and then Urza steps in and okay, so look at this. Natsu like gets flown back from Loxus, and then Urza like slams Natsu to the ground and says like, okay, you're my opponent now. And Natsu's saying, no fair, I called dibs on this, Urza. So in an unfair way, it's Urza versus Loxus now. And they're kind of going back and forth a little bit, and then Urza transforms, or not transforms, she re-equips into a new armor called the Lightning Empress armor. And it's just like her Flame Empress armor, except with lightning. Like it reduces the effects of lightning magic, and you know, it can dish out her own lightning magic, I'm assuming. So she re-equips into that, and she's starting to fight Loxus with that. And then they take a little bit of a break for like a split second, and at this time, Natsu's saying, no fair, Urza, I wanted to fight Loxus right now. Let me get a chance. Come on, let me fight him. And then Urza just looks at him and says, alright, you want to fight him? I give you my trust. I'm entrusting you with taking care of Loxus. I'm going to go take care of those, like, the Thunder Palace. And Loxus is saying, how are you going to take them all at once? I mean, it's going to be freaking ridiculous. You're going to have to do one by one by one. But Urza's saying, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to take them all down at once. And I'll remind you guys, each of these balls has body link magic. So if you destroy one, it's going to retaliate. And Urza's going to destroy every single one of these at once. So she's going to get the full force of, what, like 100 plus balls? Pause. This is a very pervish arc, if you ask me. But these orbs, that's a better word. She's going to take the full force of all of these orbs and their lightning magic if she manages to destroy all of them all at once. So now it's Natsu versus Loxus Part 2. And of course, Loxus is beating down Natsu again. I mean, Natsu might be a little bit in over his head on this one, because Loxus is just way too powerful and way too freaking arrogant for Natsu right now. And back with Urza, she's like in her heaven's armor, and she's like summoning all these weapons, and like from everything from swords to axes to pickaxes to shovels, maybe, I don't know. She is just summoning all of these weapons. But back to the good part. Natsu and Loxus are kind of getting a little bit more into it. Natsu's kind of getting more fired up with every single waking moment. And Natsu is doing this. Okay, so there's like, what, I want to say like a minute and 30 seconds left on the clock until the Thunder Palace activates. And Lox is saying, are you seriously going to wait until the bitter end, old man? And Natsu is calling Loxus bluff. He thinks Loxus is bluffing with this whole thing, but Loxus doesn't deny it. He doesn't deny he's bluffing. He just gets super angry, so I'm guessing he's bluffing, but he wants to, like, I don't know, he's like trapped in a corner at this point. So now he's getting really fired up, and Natsu's getting really fired up, and that is the end of the episode of Fairy Tail. I've kind of been all over the place with today's episode, so I apologize for that. Alrighty guys, you already know I don't like to end off without a question of the day, and today's question of the day is in the beginning of the episode, so give that a look. Look in the description if you missed the question of the day. It will be posted in the description up until episode number 50 itself. So give that a look. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I know I've been all over the place in today's episode, but this episode was going all over the place with different things going on, with Makrov's heart attack, with Loxus and Natsu, with Urza, and we don't even know what the freaking heck's happening with Gajio at this point. So we're kind of in the middle of everything, and I'm just trying my best to keep up with it all. Hopefully you guys are keeping up with me, because I'm having trouble keeping up with myself. And with everything out of the way for today, keep it cool.